Braille 1 course, UMass Boston. Braille, Slate, and Stylus. In today's world of computers and electronic production of Braille, it is easy to overlook the Slate and Stylus. This device has been compared to the pencil and paper as it is portable and inexpensive. Slates come in various sizes and types. The most widely used is the 27 or 28 cell model, called the pocket slate, that uses standard 8 by 11.5 inch paper. There is an 80 weight lighter Braille paper made specially for the slate. However, most people use regular paper that can be purchased for an ink printer. To position the paper, place the slate on the table, with the hinge on the left side and the holes on the top. Open the top plate to a right angle. Position the top edge of the paper even with the top edge of the slate. When you close the slate on the paper, it will snap the paper onto the pins to keep it in place. The question of when to introduce the Slate and Stylus will vary depending on the student. It is recommended that they are proficient at reading and writing Braille, as it might not be wise to introduce a different process while they are still learning to use Braille. Any time after the 6th grade, you might consider trying it with your student. When first introducing the slate to your student, you want to present short lessons, while the muscles develop to use it for longer amounts of time. Writing occurs from right to left, and the dots are punched from the back of the paper. Writing from right to left is a different process, and must be developed as such. The words backwards, reversed, and mirror image are terms that can confuse the student and should be avoided. Dr. Sally Mangold recommends labeling the dots as first side, top, middle, bottom, and second side, top, middle, bottom. This method equates with what the student experiences with touch as the fingers travel on and off a cell. Let's examine this process in more detail. In the example of the word dog, have your student think about reading the letter D and what dots are felt when their fingers travel onto the cell. The answer is a top dot. This top dot should be written on the slate on the first side of the cell, moving from right to left. Then have the student think about what dots are felt when the fingers move off of the letter D. The second side of the cell has the top and middle dots. The student will then punch the top and the middle dots on the second side of the slate cell. This process of first side, top, middle, bottom dots, second side, top, middle, bottom dots, continues for the rest of the word. Over time, the student will develop motor memory for slating cells and contractions, and speed will develop. This process works very well for the student, but the sighted teacher is apt to get confused. If the exercise is brailled on the Braille writer ahead of class, the teacher can turn the paper over and work from the back side. The words and letters can be printed in ink above the Braille. When you are working on a slate exercise with your student, you do not want to become confused about the process during the lesson. An added feature that many, but not all, slates have is the ability to insert a strip of Dymo tape and make Braille labels in contracted Braille. Commercial Dymo labelers are available for making Braille labels, but are expensive and use uncontracted Braille. The Slate and Stylus allows portability and quick access to writing Braille. It is a simple and practical tool for every Braille user. Braille Slate and Stylus, written and produced by Sandy Smith, UMass Boston.